Welcome back. All of the info is at the end of the video and some tips and secrets. Hi beautiful Leo, welcome back. We're here to do your May 2022 update. It is going to cover your general energy. We're then going to flow over into singles, couples and twin flames. We do have twin flame updates during the week, so if it is something that you like to look at, please subscribe and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, now I'm seeing, especially coming from your cards and cyclically, there is this need to get balanced, and you could be really tuning into either a work-related dynamic and or your love life, and it can feel at the moment you're a little bit foggy. There may have been a lot of changes from the previous eclipse, and I do see the balance card really requiring you at the moment to get into some sense of balance. You could still be trying to gain your bearings, and there could be a lot intuitively that is coming to you where you're trying to get into the yin yang. Now, that may be balancing a lot of things at once. It might be you have a lot in your mind at the moment, and the key to the situation may be journaling down the things that you need to address. I do feel the anxiousness can come out in projection, but it's usually because we're more stressed. So really taking time for self, using this week to get as organized as possible, moving into the first week of May, because as we move further into the month, it can become a little bit tense again due to the pending eclipse. Now, I do feel for some of you, it's almost like you're second guessing yourself, but your body and your life is actually telling you. It's almost like it innately gives us a recipe. Universe usually gives us 3 warning signs, and we have consult an expert in reverse, which means there is something that you know that you need to address. It could be something that you haven't really completed. So all of those tasks, as I mentioned, get on top of them. Now, I do especially feel there could be something in a sense where you're second guessing it. So it could be an element of paperwork that you need to address, which can bring in some finances for you. I also feel spiritually, it's something you know you need to do. It needs addressing. You might have delayed, and so you're getting on top of it this week. Now, there could be a feeling where emotionally you haven't really come to terms with something. It could be nervousness. It could be second guessing your abilities to achieve certain targets. And I really do feel a lot of breakthroughs for your star sign this month. It doesn't mean to say that these things aren't going to be testing moving into this month. You can feel that this month is extremely busy, and it will be key to actually take intervals of breaks to refine your balance so that you can decide what to from here. Again, now my guides are showing me that there's this frequency within you. Now, it could be to do with your thought processes, your feelings, your emotions, healthy boundaries. It is in the upright, which is positive. Like I said, during the eclipses, it tends to make that situation foggy. So being aware of about a week in and about a week out, which you'll find by the 3rd week of May, you can kind of find this equilibrium moving. I feel there is a lot that you want, okay? I feel you're wanting balance with your friends, with your family. For those of you that have children, you're wanting this balance and harmony, but inside of you, you potentially maybe had felt guilt for asking for help, had felt guilt, and I feel your foundation is life is giving you a 360. The 360 is changing both your belief within inside yourself as well as your self-esteem, but it is happening. And some of these things, sometimes we don't necessarily understand why they have to happen, but they tend to take us on this brand new path, which can be really successful. I'm seeing a lot of flashbacks, and these flashbacks are coming towards you really relating to childhood. It might be an environment that you are directly living in. I do feel if you do have an ancestor over the other side, or you're very familiar with working with your guides, I do feel you could be getting some signs and synchronicities. I also feel safety and nurturing for you, especially seen as this does really remind me of the element of home, nurture, family. You could feel as though things are changing there. Now, that can be within yourself, within your family dynamic, within the people that you've directly trusted. You may be having to have the courage to deal with these circumstances. Now, for some of you, this can relate to a sibling. There could be somebody that you're speaking to, somebody that you feel that you feel safe with. Okay, so this could be a soul sister, a soul brother, a sibling, somebody who you feel as a tribe friend, or it could even be a spiritual guru. You're going to move in towards this person and they're going to give you some counsel, and I feel it could be a little bit of support. It may be things that you already know that need addressing, but at the same time, by actually connecting with this individual, I feel you're going to be a lot safer. They may have some tools for you. I'm really seeing very firmly contracts, and I hear them quite loud. This can be spiritual contracts. This can be closing out of cycles. We do have authority here. I do feel for some of you, you could be seeking advice. This could be something closing out. If there was conflict with an individual, I feel it's closing out. I also feel your conflicted mind. You know, if you had been thinking about moving job, changing dynamics in that location, I do get this feeling that that is going to be resolved this month. But I do feel if you really know what you need to do and you're avoiding it, sometimes we can experience tower moments. Now, this may be either side of the eclipse. I'd really say trust the process, because I do feel it's balancing out. I don't feel it's going to be anything negative. I do think in the long run, it's almost like pulling the proverbial toenail out. Once it occurs, we realize, oh my gosh, that wasn't actually as bad as I thought. And I do see you to actually be benefiting from this circumstance. So whatever plays out, please trust the process. I feel ultimately it's going to go in your favor. I do see you getting more money this month, and I do feel it raising your confidence. And I feel the money that's coming towards you is going to benefit you. It can be by your own hand. It can be by your own courage to tackle these circumstances. But I also feel in your day-to-day life, being cautious about what you're spending and being in awareness of it. Okay. Some of you, I feel, are looking at your routine and you feel it has to change. It's almost like I'm hearing the term eat, pray, repeat, and it feels like you're wanting to change up your routine to a degree. And that routine does feel, by having so much on your plate, some of you psychologically could be feeling, gee, how can I handle this? But I do feel you're going to find a quality system, and I feel it's by getting into a pattern, you'll be able to really work through those dynamics and get it into a balance. I do, like I said, I am seeing paperwork involved this month, and that can be signed deals. Really make sure you read that paperwork this month, because we are moving into Mercury retrograde. Now we are going to move on into the area of singles, and then over into couples and into twin flames. So come with me and we shall have a look at it. I do feel there's frustration for those of you that are single. You feel that there's a lot on your plate. Some of you in some ways, you do feel at times quite comfortable with being single. Other times you're 50-50. I do feel you could particularly meet somebody from a foreign culture. That can be somebody who's of a different culture, different race, different location. They may be dealing with travel in some shape or form. I do feel you're really wanting to make amends with this. Now, as I mentioned, these situations can bring people back to the from the past. I do feel some of you could be going down memory lane, and I do feel the analogy coming through spiritually of Lucy in the movie, where she has these flashbacks. And I see you, again, very, very psychic this month, very susceptible to environment and energy. And I feel you're trying to get a balance. I feel you're wondering why these things are coming up. If you do have a dream about a house always directly connects to yourself within your life. So if that does come up, really research any dreams that are coming through for you, because I do feel they're going to have a subliminal meaning for you. I do feel emotionally you've felt that you've had to be the masculine and the feminine inside of your life. You have had a lot of burdens relating to your connections. You have felt a little bit like universe is being super strict with you. Why is it such a hassle? When is this going to ease up? I feel through challenging those dynamics, though, you've actually gained a lot more confidence through the process. It doesn't mean to say that this month that it still can't be testing, but I do see you feeling as though you really are wanting very clearly a lot more give and take, and you're not willing to do everything. You're not willing to cop it sweet on the chin. I feel you're actually going to be requiring something that is going to be balanced. I do feel emotionally Some of you can feel a little bit disillusioned, but you're being more practical again about give and take. And I feel maybe previously you might have been embodying a lot of masculine energy, and that could have been feeling that your self-worth energy was requiring you to do so much more inside of connections. And I feel you're looking at it now at a more balanced sense. It might have been the attitudes we were going in with. It may have been the demeanors or the beliefs that we had due to childhood, but I do see that transforming, I would say, within the first 5 days. Some of you are going to want to break out of your shell. Some of you are going to want to branch out. Some of you, I feel you could be looking at your belief systems, your spiritual connections, and really wanting to mix with people. You could actually spray out your belief systems directly towards this romantic interest. Some home truths I do feel are coming through. I also feel that there could be a belief towards burdens and you having to juggle them, and why is it all your job? Again, I feel give and take, and I do feel there could be some confusions really when it does come to where life is going. I don't feel that staying permanent. I do feel trying to iron out the creases. So that's what I'm hearing. Iron out the creases in relation to the give and take and the connection and what you're expecting. There might have been a circumstance where there was a cross wire, maybe to do with accountability. There could have been a party that was associated with this situation. But I'm seeing group energies and, shared of responsibilities coming up. I do feel some of you could be talking to an individual about your romantic life and how it's directly been impacting you. And I feel there's almost this, again, I'm seeing scales, where sometimes you're wanting to throw caution to the wind and you're wanting to party. The next minute you're back down, in the trenches and you're getting things done. And I feel you want to find a happy equilibrium with that. I don't feel that you're happy with just eat, pray, repeat at this point. I feel you do understand the method to the madness, but inside of your romantic connection, you want to live the dream. You don't want to dream the dream. Like I said, I'm seeing you really saying, where is this going? What do you want from me? I feel to be very cautious again of when we're speaking to individuals to actually speak from our perspective. Hey, this is how I saw it. It's not necessarily what it was, but hey, this is how I saw it. And then that way you can actually hear that other person and actually get to the crux of the issue. And I do feel you're really digging in deep and actually having some breakthroughs there. Some of you, there is something to do with paperwork, and I feel the paperwork could be to do with marriage, a contract. It could have been a feeling that you had, a feeling of the contract, the spiritual contract that you had with this individual. Could have been to do with traveling, might have been to do with passports, might be coming through quite uniquely. And again, it could be cultural differences. So whatever that was in the mix, I do feel you bringing it up, and I feel you actually saying it point blank, sorry, how a situation made you feel. I don't feel you're going to pretend to be anyone that you're not, and I feel you're going to be more authentic to do with your own inner core. I do feel there has been self-esteem relating to beauty, image, and it was funny because before I came on psychically, I was saying something to do with you changing your hair. I do feel this week you do have a lot coming through that is quite busy, but I feel you want to be wined and dined. There could be a subject towards moving in, and that could be a situation that actually does shift, and it can happen quite drastically and radically, and this again can come around due to a sibling, due to moving of house, due to moving of location, but I do feel point blank zero. It's coming out of nowhere and it's happening very quickly. I do feel instinctually it's important that you do know who you are, and I also feel pregnancy, so be super careful. Couples, lots of changes with you guys. I feel there's big plans. I do feel both of you are trying to balance out your assets, you're trying to balance out your routine. I do feel there could be some squabbles in relation to family and home, and again, I am saying movement of home for you guys. Now, this movement of home could be decisions where you are looking at your finances. It could be refinancing. It may be looking at adding children to the mix. There's something in the house changing. Now, this could be dragging down. This could be some dirty secrets coming out. I also see, again, circumstances relating to repairs, You know, maybe having to repair the washing machine, maybe having to get a new dishwasher. So there's something there in the mix that is going to need replacing, but I also feel something in the house is changing. There's a dynamic changing in the home environment. I also feel the routine is having to change, and that's so the functionality of life within family schedules can flow better. I'm hearing the term reducing, and that could be selling some things that you really don't need right now, getting rid of those things that you're not needing and actually passing them through, and that can alleviate some stress, and it can also be replacements of these goods. I do feel those of you that have children, there can be something that is actually changing within the child's life. I do feel they're wanting to get into fitness. They could be a little bit more energetic than usual, and it could be causing concerns, but their demeanor's changing. Some of you, it could be older and younger children, so there's dynamic changes. Again, there could be an older child moving out, somebody moving in, but there is something around that actually changing. I also feel you could have a lot of social activities relating to family and children. It could be brothers and sisters, actually reconnecting with them, readdressing some issues. I do feel if you did have conflict, it's coming back up, but it's going to be reworked. And I do feel you'll speak from your perspective. This again could have, you know, there could be paperwork involved. It could be actually meeting in front of a judge or something to that degree. Romantically speaking, I am seeing the money inside the connection increase, but I do feel for some reason there appears to be that you might be earning more than they are. I see, like, I don't know why I'm saying this. I do feel something towards a big social event. There could be some cross wires. I do feel it's really important to understand that this month could be one of those where we should make plans upon a start, in a sense. It's happening. Okay, yeah, phone call. Can you meet? Can't you meet? Great. That's fine. This really isn't one of those months to overschedule yourself. I feel to be really mindful of what you have on your plate. I do feel some of you by mid-month can actually win financially, and I do feel this could be a big breakthrough financially. I also feel romantically, this person's really quiet. They're very attentive. They're really listening to you. I feel they're trying to follow your direction. They're listening. I do feel they empathize with the situations that you're going through, but there could be a major decision about where this is going and what it's going to look like. I don't know why I'm hearing this. I kind of feel you may be actually doing something very quickly. There could be a spur of the moment situation. There could be something that is changing where you actually go on a holiday. You might have a bit of a romantic getaway. I do feel the passion recharging into the connection. But I really feel for those of you, if you had been on the fence, this can be a major decision to go your separate ways. Oh, I don't know why I'm hearing that. You can go your own way. It kind of feels you're stepping up and you're going, look, unless this is changing, because you're actually, it's almost like you've started to embody the balance of the yin and yang and the masculine and the feminine. You're kind of like, are you working with me? Great. If you're not, right, I need to go. I also feel there is a dynamic where you're trying to mentally get into balance. And I feel that mental balance has been really, it's been helping you tap into your emotions, but I also feel at times it has actually hindered progression. So it could be something to do with you checking your balances, checking hormones, checking hormone levels, and actually getting clarity on what's going on. I feel there's something in your system changing. Something for feminines, it could be biology, it could be a monthly cycle. There's something going on that isn't quite balanced at the moment. So if you are feeling that's coming up, go, especially in the first 10 days, would be the best time to do such. Otherwise, you know, we do it when we can, but really make sure you keep an eye on your wellness this month. I'm definitely feeling babies. Some of you are actually going to have a major change of look, and I do feel this person does have a lot of chemistry with you. They're very, very attracted to you. I would say this is one thing that's coming through very loud and clear. Regardless of being in a coupledom or not, I do feel there's another person here in the mix that's very attracted to you, and you do need to be very careful. If this was, and this is one particular message, it doesn't have to resonate with every single Leo that is coupled. If there was an affair, it may be coming out, so be very, very careful. Okay, we're going to move on to twin flames. Yes, we do cover twin flames during the month. This is a very dynamic for changeable events inside of the twin flame partnership, because we do have Mercury moving into retrograde and we do have the eclipse in Scorpio. There's a lot of activations happening with the masculine's life. So regardless of whether you're the feminine or the masculine, I do feel you're moving into balance of yin and yang. And I do see that to be transforming, but there is going to be a judgment relating to love. I do feel there's communication coming in. I do feel there can be wounds relating to, again, where you're living, where they're living, the give and take, intimacy, and feeling safe within that connection. I do feel there could have been a circumstance relating to siblings, theirs or yours. And I do feel something, something relating to, for some of you, a child, a contract. It could be to do with where the situation's going, maybe taking it to that next level. That can be moving in together. It could be moving into engagement. I do feel the situation's going to move very quickly, but there could be a lot of reflection this month as to how that's going to look. I do feel you're going to speak your truth when it does come to your nerves, and I feel something has really grated your nerves. I feel you could have multiple options here. You could have soulmates. You don't necessarily want to go into a karmic relationship. Karmic relationships tend to happen when we're needing to recover. I don't feel that's really coming through here. I feel it's more to do with you emotionally having to address, and I'm hearing 3 areas in your life. But there is a question mark over a social event, and I don't know why that's coming through quite largely, but it's like, okay, we are family, I'm hearing. It's like actually merging 2 worlds, bringing 2 worlds together, and how that's going to look. I feel it's a rework of that map. I do feel there's a major conversation. And I do feel, I'm hearing the belief versus the reality, something wasn't matching. And I feel this missing information coming to the forefront this month. I do feel there can be huge revelations, of secrets coming out. I'm hearing that, I'm hearing that you could be really, really excited, but just slow down. I do feel this eclipse is moving situations. Some of these things, they are going to map out and they are going to balance, but there could be it's almost like there could be a situation that needs addressing by a professional, which can be totally separate to the dynamic of the connection, but it might be where the pavement of that way is actually moving through, because we have consult an expert and let yourself receive. This person's very confused. Both of these cards were in reverse. And I do feel if you were presuming something, wait till you hear it from the horse's mouth. I also feel if you had believed something, really articulating it to this individual of how you saw a situation, it is going to help with not presuming. And that's one real large message that is coming through for you guys this month, is to not presume, because I do see that there's going to be a little bit of clarity when it does come to information. I do feel there's a professional involved in this situation. Okay. Yeah, I do feel both of you can actually problem solve it, but you need to hear the other person out. I feel it's about having turns. I don't know why I'm hearing that. Having turns, going at your own pace. I do feel things can pick up mid-month, and they're going to move very quickly, which we will tune into masculine, feminine, and karmic throughout the month. So come through and have a look at those. Look, I do feel a secret coming out. I do feel you might freak out. Okay, you might freak out. You might get to a point you say, I think, we're going and then we're not, we're going and then we're not. You want a judgment, okay? But I do feel in the mix of the judgment, you're kind of second guessing yourself, and it may be in an instant there might be something going on with you where, with your emotions coming up and you're reflecting upon it, you might have some real large breakthroughs this month. I do feel you may need to balance your solar plexus and sacral chakra. Do such prior to the eclipse. I will see you during the week. I'd love to hear your feedback. Tell me how this plays out for you, and I'll see you on the other side. come through and join our notification hub on the website at YILDIZ Readings 5D. Never miss a notification. Do click the link directly below and it takes you straight there. Very separately, we do have free star sign subscriptions and twin flame, as well as the paid version where we dive deep, and yes, we have duo packs. The duo packs give you free meditation tracks that are hosted via the website with up and coming education content. For a personal booking, you can go directly below. We also have the webinars coming up. So if you don't want to miss such, visit the website. Otherwise, I'll see you live throughout the month. Please comment on the video. It shares it through the algorithm. And thank you. And I love you all so much for being part of YILDIZ Readings 5D journey.